Is it Gene Falico Living Trust versus Isabel Atkins? Isabel Atkins?
This case launches with chaos before we even hit the 1-minute mark. A simple eviction hearing turns into a full-scale digital meltdown, and Judge Simpson finds himself untangling a mess of frozen screens, dropped audio, unexpected guests, and questionable filings. Right away, you can feel the tension. The plaintiff's attorney is frustrated, the judge is irritated, and the defendants can't even get their audio working. But beneath the technical issues lies a deeper problem. Who is actually appearing before the court, and who is pulling the strings behind the scenes? This hearing isn't just about possession of a property, it's about authority, legitimacy, and whether the parties involved are acting in good faith. The trust says the default was already granted last week. The court says documents weren't received. And now we've got Casey Atkins, who isn't even a party to the case, suddenly popping up, answering for her daughter, and submitting documents under her own name. That alone sets off legal alarms. In eviction cases, only actual tenants or legally recognized occupants have standing. And the moment an unrelated person starts filing transfer affidavits, judges notice. As this hearing unfolds, watch how Judge Simpson tries to determine who is speaking, who is allowed to speak, and whether these last-minute filings are legitimate or just another attempt to delay the inevitable. And trust me, the twists coming in the next few minutes make this case spiral into one of the most bizarre digital courtroom moments you'll ever witness.
Your Honor, we were here last week, so the court is aware, and the court actually granted the default. I logged off, and then I got a notice from the court that Miss Atkins apparently appealed after and said she couldn't unmute. I asked the court at that time to be very candid if it was Isabella Atkins or her mother, Casey. I'm seeing Miss Casey Atkins below, connecting to audio now, but no visual. If it is
Hello?
Casey, if that is
Hello?
Casey Atkins.
Hello?
Hello, what's your name?
Hello? Casey Atkins?
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
What
Hello?
is your-
Hello?
Hello, ma'am. What is your name? Ma'am, what is your name? Casey Atkins.
That is Isabella Atkins' mother, Your Honor, and for the court's record, she was party to another eviction for the trust property in a separate court that we had executed 2 weeks ago. So Miss Atkins' appearance here is not appropriate, and I believe it was her that probably appeared last Friday.
She is also on the phone. We're having issues with the audio. We can call her.
We can call who?
Isabella Atkins, my daughter. She's on the phone also on the 5099, but she's having issues. We're having issues with the video and audio. I don't know.
Okay, but did Isabel Atkins file the documents with the court, or did you?
The stuff that was sent earlier.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it was with me. It was me allocating it. And she,
Okay, but-
I mean, like I said, she's on the phone. She's trying to call. She's flipping out.
Your Honor,
I'm sorry.
I didn't know that there were documents submitted. We didn't receive any document. I'm not sure what the court would be looking at.
I somehow figured that.
Coming in. I have more
What do you mean there are more coming in?
I have 2 additional emails that were sent at 9:25 this morning from Miss Casey Atkins.
Oh, I don't
Each
know.
10 attachments in them. More pictures.
More pictures?
I don't know.
Well, they were.
Ma'am, please. Here, let me try this first of all, counsel. There's someone who is dialed in whose last 3 digits are 699.
No, the call that I'm on with my daughter ends in 99, but it's 5099.
Could the individual who has logged in with the last 3 digits 099, you need to hit *6 on your phone and identify who you are.
The issue may be, Your Honor, too, if she is simultaneously on the phone with her mother, you can't 3-way call into a Zoom. So you would have to hang up with Casey, her mother, to then appear through the audio.
Individual who's logged on with the last 3 digits 099, you'll have to unmute
This is where the courtroom devolves into complete confusion. Judge Simpson is trying to establish the most basic requirement of due process, confirming who is actually present. But what should be simple turns into a circus. Multiple callers, multi-party phone lines, three-way calls, mismatched phone numbers. It's messy, and it undermines the integrity of the hearing. Before the dialogue, when a judge cannot verify the identity of a participant, the entire hearing becomes compromised. If a party is simultaneously on the phone with someone else who is feeding them instructions or speaking over them, the court cannot trust the validity of anything being said. This is why Zoom hearings must be direct connections, not three-way merges. After the dialogue, the attorney points out a key legal issue. You cannot three-way into a Zoom court hearing. It breaks the chain of identification. Judges need a clear, direct audio link to the actual litigant. The confusion here suggests that Casey may be attempting to coach the responses or control the appearance. Audience question: should courts impose stricter rules to avoid situations like this, or did the judge handle it well?
If it is a three-way call, counsel's right, then you're going to have to hang up from one of them, but preferably the one hooked to Casey, if you are Isabella. Casey Atkins, unmute, please.
Trying. We're having issues.
Okay. Where is Isabella?
With her boyfriend right now. Then she at his place, and that's why we're doing the three-way. And sending text that she's doing the *6, but it's not doing anything, and she's having a hard time hearing.
Ma'am, Isabella needs
Yes.
to call in on her own. She's the only one that's
Okay.
a party to this case.
Okay. Okay, can I have a few minutes to get through to her?
I'm sorry?
Can I have a few minutes to get through to her? Because I'm gonna have to hang up. She's having issues, and I'm gonna have to get her to call from the, she can't hear anything. She's not hearing anything we're saying, and she's sending me texts. So can I have a few minutes to call her and tell her to call her boyfriend or something?
Well, is her area code 734?
Yes, sir.
I'll give a couple minutes to call in. Counsel, you were going to say something, sir. I'm sorry.
No, Your Honor, I was going to say if the court needs to move on to other files and move us to the end of the hearing to give her time, I just don't want to let this delay another day, and it's going to keep moving. I don't have another hearing this morning, so I can hold on if need be.
Okay. All right. She needs to call in, ma'am.
Okay.
Quarter past that case. Yeah, I've got one phone. That's all I have. The individual who signed in, last three digits of the phone number 711. Could you please hit *6 and unmute and identify yourself? Oh, really?
Hello,
Okay.
this is Bella Adkins, Casey Adkins'
Okay.
daughter.
Yes. All right. Okay. This was a termination case, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
And ma'am, what's your claim to your ability to reside in the premises? Miss Atkins?
These are the new documents that they filed, but they're back and forth.
Your Honor, if those were emailed to the court, obviously the court's aware, but just for the sake of the record, nothing was emailed to me.
Yeah, I got it, counsel.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can forward them to him. I mean, we're going to try to forward those to you, counsel, so you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I have a property transfer affidavit from January 25th of 2023. The seller being Gene, is it Facio?
Falciccio, Your Honor.
Facio. And that the buyer is Casey Atkins.
This right here is the moment the legal red flags start waving aggressively. The judge reads a property transfer affidavit claiming that the buyer of the property is Casey Atkins, the same person who is not a party to the eviction, not a tenant, and not legally recognized in this case. Immediately, the plaintiff's attorney responds with a devastating clarification. The affidavit is fraudulent. This is huge. Filing a fraudulent property transfer document isn't just improper. It can constitute fraud upon the court, attempted title misrepresentation, or even criminal conduct if intentional. The attorney confirms the title is still vested in the trust and offers to show recorded deeds as proof. That means Casey attempted to record documents that suggest ownership where none existed. From a legal standpoint, this destroys credibility. If someone submits improper or false documents to claim ownership, the court becomes extremely skeptical of anything else they say. It also shows why the attorney is pushing so hard to prevent further delays. This is the moment Judge Simpson realizes the case isn't about a misunderstanding. It's about misrepresentation and attempted obstruction. Audience question: if someone falsely filed ownership documents, should they face legal consequences beyond eviction?
Your Honor, Ms. Atkins filed 2 property transfer affidavits on the date of her mother's death. The property is not, Ms. Falciccio died in January, she passed. Both of the properties that were, one, an eviction's already occurred, this is the last one, are titled in the name of the trust. So that transfer affidavit is a fraudulent transfer affidavit. Title remains, and I could show the court the deed and the recording information, but title remains vested in the trust.
Got it. Okay, Isabel Atkins, what is your claim to the premises that's at issue here?
I would like to request a jury trial. I lived with my grandma for a year.
A jury trial request in an eviction case is unusual, and Judge Simpson immediately presses Isabella on whether she intends to pay the required fees and file the necessary paperwork. The law is very clear. You cannot demand a jury without completing the formal steps, and Isabella has filed nothing, offered no legal defense, and provided no justification beyond simply wanting to stay. This is where audience members might feel sympathy. She lived with her grandmother for a year and is emotionally attached to the property. But legally, occupancy by permission is not the same as a tenancy. Once the rightful owner revokes permission, the occupant must vacate unless they have a valid lease or legal right. The trust provided notice months earlier, delayed filing, and still no defense was raised. This moment highlights a broader issue. Litigants often confuse personal fairness with legal entitlement. Courts do not rule based on emotional equity. They rule on documented rights. Engagement moment. If you were the judge, would you allow her jury request or deny it for lack of legal grounds?
Ma'am, you've got to file paperwork and you've got to pay for the jury. Are you going to do that today? And then you're going to have to file an answer to the claim.
Yes.
So the court is aware, just from a timing standpoint, I did just receive the email from the court showing photos, which appear to be the photos of the property being removed from the first eviction unrelated to this property. There was a proper notice sent for possession. A notice to quit was sent all the way back on May 18th, giving them until June 30th to vacate. We delayed the filing of the eviction to give her even further time. There's no defense that's been raised, and even her claims on the record here that she would simply like to stay do not give her grounds. There's no lease. She needs to vacate the property, and at this point, we'd ask for no further. This is the third time they tried to delay this. We'd ask for no further delay and for the judgment to be entered. Not seeking any money judgment here, obviously, Your Honor, but just asking that the court enter the judgment and an order of eviction in 10 days.
Miss Isabel Atkins?
Yes.
What is your basis for claiming that you can reside in the premises?
My grandma said that I could.
Okay, ma'am, that's not going to be enough. I don't really have an issue that I could try or a jury could try on this case.
For the sake of the record, Your Honor, I would like to ask, is Ms. Atkins alone, or is Ms. Casey Atkins with her? Because Ms. Casey Atkins, who's not a party to this case or an attorney, continues to appear on the Zoom.
No, I'm on the Zoom. I'm not with Bella.
Okay, Isabella?
Sir, the request is that we would like to get it moved to probate, as the trustee is not listed as the plaintiff.
Ma'am. You are not a party to this case.
Your Honor, now that she's muted, just so the court is aware, Miss Casey Atkins tried to file a probate action in front of Judge O'Brien, which was just recently dismissed. This is just a sort of belaboring continuous fraud to keep the properties in play, and we would just ask for the judgment at this point. I really don't want to belabor the issue further.
Andrew,
All
that's
right.
not true. Y'all haven't filed the will.
Yeah, Miss Atkins, Casey Atkins. I've now for the third time told you you are not a party to this case. Isabella Atkins, tell me every reason outside, well, you said your grandmother said you could reside there. Any other reason you think that you're able to reside in these premises, ma'am?
I will file paperwork.
You what?
I will file paperwork, but I would like the right to have a jury trial.
This is the breaking point. Isabella continues insisting on a jury trial, but still cannot articulate a single legal defense. Judges require defendants to state why they believe they have a legitimate claim, not just that they want more time. The plaintiff's attorney raises a powerful concern. He believes Isabella might not even be the person speaking. The shifting phone numbers, the inconsistent audio, the coaching through Casey, all of it suggests interference. Judge Simpson catches on. The voice doesn't match prior appearances. The confusion seems deliberate, and legally, this matters because fraudulent appearances or misrepresentation of identity can invalidate the entire proceeding. The judge pauses, assesses, and ultimately recognizes the situation. Isabella may not be pursuing this case. Casey is. From an eviction law standpoint, once the judge determines there is no defense, no legitimate occupancy right, and ongoing interference, entering judgment is the only option. Audience question: do you think Isabella genuinely wanted to fight this case, or was she being pushed into it by her mother?
Well, ma'am, I need to know that there's a defense to the claim.
Your Honor, this may be strangely odd, but I'm concerned that may even be Isabella Atkins on the phone. If the court recalls, when this started, there was a different number that was saying it was having issues calling in. Now there's a new number, video, but the age of the voice, I'm just concerned. I
hear you. I got you. Miss Atkins, Isabella Atkins.
She just left.
Logged off. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do.
Sir, she's calling me right now. Bella, are you on the phone? You're on the phone with the speaker with the Zoom, Bella. It's okay. Sir? Hello?
Isabella Atkins.
Bella, answer.
I don't know. Well, I don't know how to answer this question.
Okay. I have a very clear picture now of what's going on here. So here's what I'm going to do. Because I don't think this is, I think Isabella's there, but Isabella, I don't think wants to pursue this in this fashion. So she's going to have to get an attorney so that the record's clear. I think much of this is being instituted by Casey Atkins, who's not a party to this case. So I'm going to find that there's no tribal issue in this case after hearing. I'm going to grant a judgment for possession to the plaintiff with a writ 10 days.
10 days. Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, can the proposed orders be submitted to the court via email, or do they need to still be paper?
Yes, that you can submit them to the clerk's office via email.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
That's it for us. You do the same, sir. Huh? That's it for that block. We will begin again at 10. Court stands in recess.
And there it is, the final ruling. Judge Simpson enters judgment for possession with a 10-day writ, meaning the trust regains legal control of the property and eviction enforcement can begin after the statutory waiting period. The judge's reasoning is crystal clear. There was no valid defense raised. The defendant failed to file required responses. Attempts to involve non-parties, including Casey, undermined the process. Fraudulent property transfer filings further damaged credibility. The court could not reliably confirm who was speaking or directing the defense. In landlord-tenant law, clarity and documentation control the outcome, not emotional arguments or last-minute filings. This case shows how quickly a simple hearing can spiral when unauthorized parties interfere, and how judges must cut through confusion to uphold due process. This ruling also sends a message. Courtroom procedure matters. If you want to contest a case, you must do so properly, with filings, evidence, and direct participation. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.